My people, what I do? We back with another episode of All Black Men Need Therapy. My name is Chief.
And I'm Bell.
I'm Prentice.
We about to get the ball rolling. What's crazy is I say my people and I do it every episode and it's catchy. Bell hit me up like somebody emailed us was like, our people. It's like, yeah, they catching that joint, man. Oh, right now, man.
I was hating.
He was hating. It be your own people, yo. It be your own people. Yo, so P, I tagged you in this joint on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it yet, but I shared what you posted, obviously.
Yeah.
Lady, I got to read it so you hear what it says. And I was confused. So I tagged you in it, but Bell, I don't know if you saw it, but it was a post of a lady holding a sign that said, nobody told your scary ass to be a cop, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So the lady commented, and she says, no one told you, Melinda, to call a cop when you need help or call 911. And I was like, I didn't really understand it. So
wait, say that again. No one
told you, Melinda's, to call a cop when you need help or call 911.
Melinda's.
So apparently the girl is like, Melinda's is the Karen's version of Karen.
For what? Hispanic or
For black people? Like instead of Karen, it's Melinda. I'm just. It was my first time
I don't
seeing
know
it.
one black person named Melinda.
So
I think Spanish people named Melinda.
I respond. I'm like, huh? And then the lady responds like, Chief, apparently she feels some type of way. We're Melinda since they're Karens. Big difference. We call the police on guilty people, not innocent. And I'm like, oh, that's what that was supposed to mean. Like I didn't know where
we call the police on guilty people, not innocent.
He's talking about. I don't know. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of mad we just gave her that platform.
Well, I don't. She don't have a name, but my thing is, I didn't know. I said it because I didn't know we were Melinda's. I'd never heard that. Did y'all hear that?
It don't even make sense, but I'm not holding that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm just checking. Nevertheless, that's the topic of today. Stop fucking killing us. Plain and simple. So, my man Thuggy, white dude, real real supportive of the people, ally type dude. He said, breaking news. We're gonna pause the trial of the Minnesota police officer who killed an unarmed black man in broad daylight to bring you a story of a Minnesota police officer who killed an unarmed black man in broad daylight. And I'm just like, that's fucked up.
Yo, two things. One, I think we should do our check-in like we always do. Pre-episode. But the crazy thing is, yo, this always comes in pockets for us, right? It's always like, it's not like one incident, and not that this would make it any better, but it's not like one incident and then the next incident that happens with us is a year from now. It's always back to back. You know what I'm saying?
It's the beginning of the summer too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, man, it was the young man in Minnesota, and then it was the guy in Virginia, the lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? Which
got pepper sprayed or whatever.
Yeah, which I didn't realize that was in December. And obviously, just like Ahmaud Arbery, when that came out, like that wasn't right then. It was months prior. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that to me, man. It's like that's the part that gets me. It's like it's almost like if you ever see something again, your instinct is to expect something to follow. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that other shoe to drop. You know what I mean?
Right. So before we get into it, because I'm already starting to get mad. I feel it coming. So let's go ahead. Back to the top. Bell.
Oh, he started moving his fingers.
Yeah, I'm that shit tingling. My fingers tingling. You want to ball up this and slap it up and punch somebody. Anyways, Bellhead, check in, baby. What's going on?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. So things are fine with me in general, but this with everything that's going on, man, that it kind of got to me today, because I like everything. It got to me yesterday, but knowing we were going to record tonight, it started resonating a little bit more as well. But to me, man, it's like I'm at the point where I can't watch it. Like I can't watch it. Like I don't know, but I heard there was video of the shooting in Minnesota, and I don't know, but that's what I heard. But I refused to watch it, dude. I didn't even read the full article, if I'm being 100% honest, because I'm just tired of it. And then like the lieutenant, Man, D.L. Hewley, was it D.L. Hewley? I'm pretty sure it was D.L. Hewley, put that meme up of Cap kneeling. And he's like, if this is disrespecting the military, and then below that was the picture of I believe the guy's name is Caron, being pepper sprayed. He said, if this is disrespecting the military, then what is this? Right? And that shit like floored me. Like, I'm like, wow. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw it, I don't even comment on Instagram, but I commented on that. And I was like, that's the meme of the year, unfortunately. You know? So that's kind of where I'm at, man. I'm still not really processing it intentionally, just like I did with the whole Black Lives Matter movement with George Floyd and all that. I purposely put them away, them feelings. That's me though.
P, what you got?
Let's switch up the rhythm, man. You go. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My kids are happy. My kids are healthy. I don't really have too much on my spirit right now, man. Just navigating through some stuff that I don't want to share right now with the podcast, but I definitely want to talk to y'all about it afterwards. Your boy I talked to Bell about it a little earlier today, but your boy was really super angry today, like steaming angry. And I know people are curious now, but it's not something I want to share until we talk through it amongst ourselves, and then we can bring it to the table.
For sure.
Overall, I'm good, man. My kids are happy and healthy, smiling, man. It's the beautiful thing.
Word, man.
Prentice?
Hey, man.
8 days overdue.
But we 7 days overdue right now. So, I was all the chipperness and fantasizing of when she's here, that shit is gone. I need her to show up now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, other than being impatient for a blessing, man, I'm cool, chilling, literally like I'm in this limbo because her due date being a week ago, I can't schedule nothing. You know what I mean? Like I can't do anything. I just can't bet on anything. So it's really interesting being in this this is space, man. It's like a in between space. But we cool. Everybody's cooling. She's taking it like a champ.
What? That's a beautiful place to be in, though, man. You said something. I don't know if it's I guess not oxymoronic, but I can't figure the term out. You said impatient, waiting for a blessing. That's kind of a dope place to be in, though, fam.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, hell yeah. I don't got no deep exhales, or, I'm not exhausted, man. So,
one thing I'll say about kids, and at least new kids, is, man, they bring on this like calming spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like my son, that dude he's strong as shit. So he'll slap the shit out you if you let him. But when I see this dude, man, it just like part of me getting in my feelings a little bit today with everything that was going on is because I was holding him as I was listening to because again I knew I was going to be talking about it. So I listened to Charlemagne and I listened to Trevor Noah. You know what I'm saying? Just their takes on it. And I'm just like, damn, I got a little black boy right here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the shit was just, I don't know. But my point is, like kids, they can bring a calming spirit, man. So I'm looking forward to when you getting your baby girl, man, and you guys just starting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'd be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I mean, Bell. So in that spirit of your son being your calm at the time, do you worry right now about having to have that talk with him or being, putting him in that, like, do you stress over it now?
Nah, not right now, man. You know what actually is bringing probably the most stress to me is like, I know, right? Like I'm in corporate America. So I know that my white counterparts, they don't know what to do right now. Right. Like not that they said that, but I just get the sense of that. And they're supporting, right? Like I shared the Charlemagne clip with them. And some of them, it sounds like most of them knew, but so I just think about like, okay, like how is this going to show up? So to answer, the short answer to your question is, it's not necessarily about him right now because he's not able to witness this yet, right? So my concern is like, what's the lasting effect, right? Like, what's the lasting effect on Black men from witnessing all this trauma? Not even experiencing it, right? Witnessing it, right? Like the lieutenant who got pulled over, he admittedly in an interview said he drove an extra 2 miles with his hazards on, not evading, but to get to a well-lit area.
Boom. And look what happened.
You know what I'm saying? It's like yo,
In a well-lit area.
Like how crazy is that? You know what I'm saying? Like how, now what if he wasn't in a well-lit area?
Yep.
One, we wouldn't have been able to see it as clear, right? Two, there could have been all kinds of excuses for maybe excessive force beyond what they've already displayed, what they displayed on video. So that's part of your psyche, right? You got to think about it. Like you're getting pulled over. It's a brand new car. You know you're legit, but you're a lieutenant in the armed forces in uniform, and your first thought is still to drive to a well-lit area. Like that shit is crazy. That's the part that makes me that bothers me. That's the part that it's like, I don't know what the lasting effect's going to be on me. You know what I'm saying? Then I not to get too deep, but then I think about my father growing up in the Jim Crow South, right? My uncles growing up in the Jim Crow South, and how like they're deep bedded in deep rooted feelings towards white people. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't fault them for that. That's how they were brought up, right? Like that's like, not that they don't like white people, but they don't trust them. It was inherent, right? Just based on how they grew up. So I look at that, it's like, okay, well, what happens now, right? Like this continues to happen is these images that we are experiencing in addition to our personal experiences. When is this going to boil over? What is this going to look like? You know what I'm saying? Like how is that going to affect the minds of these 13, 14, 15-year-old kids 20 years from now? That's the part that I'm thinking about. And it's like, what do we do to help them now? Right. And I don't know the answer. Like, I do not have the answer. That's the part that's kind of like not settling, not allowing me to settle. You know what I'm saying? Unsettling feeling. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, you know, like for me now, all of this has gotten me more comfortable with being honest with my children. You know what I mean? Like you can't hide it. I remember Philando Castile died. I wrote a letter to them in the form of a poem, and even then, Justice understood it and was young. But now, because it's right in front of our face, we just talking the reality of what it's like. You can see it, and you're going to start to have experiences with what it's like to be Black in this country. So there's no sugarcoating in my house.
No.
Like none whatsoever. They have their own opinions and feelings on white America already. You know what I mean? Based upon what they've seen and what they've been taught, and then coming to their own places of like discernment and judgment. And so now I talk to them the same way I talk to society about it. You know what I mean? So the best way we can do is just be prepared. And you asked him if he was scared, Chief, and I was thinking like, Justice mama sent me a picture today, and Just has like hair on his chin growing out and mustache growing out, bro. He's 12. And I looked at that, and recently he was driving a car. He's been practicing driving. He practiced a couple of times here, but his mom sent me a video and he was practicing driving. I'm not any more scared now that I know he's, you know, a handful of years removed from that, because it's so dangerous being Black anyways. The car increases your chances, but I mean, it's dangerous, period. So I don't really have like a fear, because we live in it. He's living it now, away from me. You get what I'm saying? Across country. You know what I mean? So I really feel helpless in that sense. So I don't really collect more fear when these things happen. It's just a reminder to give them the game now.
Right.
Because we both got to live it now. You know what I'm saying? Like we both got to live it.
Yeah. That's actually one of my fears. Like being pulled over with my son in the car.
Oh, nigga, it's the worst, bro.
Like
Happened
that's
to me.
one of my, that's one, and you know, hey, I'm not condemning all police officers, so please hear me clear. Like I've been pulled over by some phenomenal police officers before, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know, right? Like that's the thing, you don't know.
And that's the fucked up part about it. You don't know. So even with this gentleman, the veteran or the lieutenant, God, forgive me because I don't know his name. I should have did the research, but
I can tell you right now.
With the lieutenant, like he, you know, his wherewithal says get to a well-lit area, and that transition from the time the burps and cherries came on to the time he got to the well-lit area is probably what infuriated that officer and had him acting the way he was towards that dude. I saw the clip with Charlemagne talking about, he's like, you about to ride the lightning, boy, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does that mean? I guess it meant like he was gonna tase him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like, why are you talking to this man like that? He's like, I'm afraid. He's like, you should be. You're about to ride the lightning. And it's like, what?
Yo,
Like,
I said something earlier, man. Being a police officer gives people who are already of poor character an opportunity to display how poor their character truly is. Like it's the badge is permission to, if you would like to train in the art of killing black men, the badge will provide you with a canvas that you can luckily paint on and get away with. You know what I'm saying? But I see this stuff, and all it reminds me is how fucked up people are. Like people are fucked up. You know, you give them a position of power, and you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah, but
you got a badge.
but my thing is like, I mean, you sit back and you go, yo, you're a police officer. You are clearly aware of how black people have been feeling, or black men have been feeling in regards to you guys approaching them, pulling them over, whatever the case may be. Like, why follow suit of the assholes that have made these same poor mistakes you made?
But I just talked. It's who they just killed a 20-year-old boy in the same city as a trial for George Floyd right now.
I know.
They just did it. What more? It's not even about how they're showing us they can get away with it. They don't have to think twice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's part of the job now. And there's no veil to cover the reality of racism in America anymore. It is right in front of your face. So those who are comfortable enough are going to exercise that right to be racist and murderous.
Yeah, so the young man in Minnesota is Daubte Wright, and Caron Nazario is a lieutenant in Virginia who was pepper sprayed. I look at the badge in the same light that I look at money. And let me explain, right? My personal beliefs around money, like I don't believe money is the root of all evil. Like I don't believe that. I do believe that money makes good people better and bad people worse, right? That's my belief.
That's fair.
Right? I feel the same about the badge. Like I feel like a police officer that's a good person, that badge will make them better. A police officer that's at their core just not a good person, that badge will make them worse. And to my point earlier, there's no way for us to tell, right? And like when that initial encounter, there's no way for us to tell until that officer opens their mouth more often than not, right? And then it could potentially put us at ease, or it could potentially heighten our level of fear, you know. But on the surface, you can't tell. And I feel like, unfortunately, Black men have been treated that way too, where it's like on the surface, they can't tell, like we don't get the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Even though statistically, white men are the most violent group of men in the country, statistically, right? But Black men still evokes that fear for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't understand why. And that's the part that you can't change, bro. Like you can't. I go to Omaha, Nebraska, I'm still Black. I go to Harlem, I'm Black. Like there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I'm saying?
So I spoke with a couple of police officers that I know, and I've asked them would they be willing to partake in a conversation with me, and they agreed. but I shied away from it because I don't want it to have repercussions in their professional,
Yeah, nah, it's
personal life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, but how would y'all feel about having a even off camera discussion with the police officer? Does it make a difference for us? Like, you know what I'm saying?
like the police officers that I know personally, well, for the most part, they're good dudes. Like those that I know personally, they're good dudes. Like they're like some of them I played with in college. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them are former
that's one of
teammates
the
of
one.
mine.
Dirty's one of the ones who said. I think he said he had
Yeah.
a conversation with me. Ox,
So it's like,
good.
yeah, and then Ox, right? Like it's like, and my man Troy that we were roommates for 3 months. Like I know a lot of great cops, man. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to condemn cops, but what I am saying is cops need to condemn those who aren't living their guiding principles. That's what I will say, right? Like there's not enough of that.
So what I will say, Bell, is if you saw the video with the Mr. Was it Nazario or Rosario?
Nazario.
Mr.
Caron Nazario.
Caron is Mr. Nazario. Like the police officer, the aggressor was clearly an asshole, but his partner was kind of like, look on his face, like, damn, bro, like you could see it in his face, like, yo, you wilding right now.
Yeah.
Didn't say nothing, didn't do anything to check him.
You can see exactly.
You know what's even worse than that? Like that's bad. What's worse than that is Daubte Wright, the young man in Minnesota who was murdered. That cop that murdered him was training another cop. Like that's the crazy shit. Like, so you go into it with learned behavior, bad, wrong, learned behavior. Like, I went online just now and I don't know how, I'm not even gonna repeat it because I don't know how true it is, but what I will say is a lot of cops that I've seen, their badge, or excuse me, their gun and taser aren't on the same side. Right. Like, and they're at different lengths in a lot of cases. Like a lot of them I see, and again, I know every state is different, but you know what a gun feels like and what a taser feels like.
With 20 years, 26 years of experience, you probably should.
Like, with that, and that's just crazy, man.
Well, I saw that video. I watched it, and she yelled "taser" like 3 or 4 times as she was doing it. But
okay,
while she has a gun in her hand, she's yelling "taser." Like at no point do you realize you're holding onto a gun.
Yeah, isn't the gun in front of you?
It isn't the gun in front of you,
right? Like you don't shoot from the hip. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get it. Like, you know, I get it. Like in terms of adrenaline, but at the end of the day, it's like that you don't have the luxury to look at things from my perspective. I'm not a trained officer, right? Like, just like when I play ball, I can't expect somebody in the stands to go out there and perform how I'm performing or how you perform, Chief, right? Like we're trained. That's what we do. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to maneuver through these situations.
It's called discernment, bro. And they have it. They just have an option when they use it. I have no desire to talk with a cop because I'm not the problem. I'm not part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a black man in America. We gonna say?
No, go ahead.
I'll say I'm a black man in America, minding my business, trying to raise my family. I'm not a part of the problem. I don't work for the police department, and I don't care to get to know any police officers because they're police officers. I just need them to do their job when they're on the clock. So, now, as people, if they're cool. But when it comes to somebody being a cop, I don't need to meet or talk to anybody because I don't pose a problem.
So,
Pete, and then you talk to their coworkers.
Here's my let me say this, and I know you ain't gonna be offended by it, but out of the 3 of us, you'd probably be the most aggressive when confronted with a police officer.
Absolutely, and I'm the son of a former police officer. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the back of cop cars. I've told this on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like my first childhood memories are amazing when it comes to police and police officers. So, right. You know, you can't even put that on me, but yeah, I probably would be.
So my thing is, does that now even, I think just naturally, like let's hypothetically say you get pulled over, and I know you're articulate and you can go through it, but like just the nature of what's been going on in the world automatically gets us defensive, and it appears in our tone.
Not for me, bro. I'm trying to get out of there.
Okay.
I ain't got no
So,
time.
so that's on me. So that's on me because I feel like perhaps depending upon his approach, do you adjust your tone, or are you like just trying to get home the whole time, regardless of how he behaves?
Let me tell you what I do. But I have the same routine, and I've had this routine since I was 21 years old. And I'll tell you why. So I tore my meniscus and my ACL. I'll say ATL. Fucked my whole knee up when I was 20 years old. Took me a while to recuperate. By the time I could drive again, I got pulled over by an officer, and I had just got the brace released, so I just been able to start bending my knee a little bit enough to drive. So while he was running my stuff, my knee was in like a lot of pain. Cool cop. I asked him if I can get out the car and kind of stretch because it hurt if I stayed in the driver's seat for too long. He let me do that. I got to stretch. Everything was fine. I went on about my business. From there on out, whenever I had my kids in the car when I've been pulled over or had anybody else in the car with me, I've always brought up my knee to this very day to try to get out my car to create some separation between myself and the rest of the people in the vehicle in case anything go down. You know what I'm saying? And that's always kind of stuck with me to be a method of to try to distance the level of opportunity for, murder, but also to remind myself that I got to get home. So let me just deal with this individual on a one-on-one basis and just get home. It's not about being upset and because I'm black. It's about I got to get home. I got to be able to drive away. So that's my most important thing when it comes to getting pulled up. I'm not getting no attitude with no cop.
So I've heard of the whole driving to a well-lit area, but fortunately I haven't been pulled over in quite some time that would cause me to do that. You guys gonna adopt that into your routine now?
I'm like this, man. Like when I get pulled over, I'm a firm believer that you can't win on the street.
No.
And what I mean by that is, it's like if I'm wrong or if I'm right, I'm not about to win right there, right? You're going to give me a ticket, you're going to do whatever you're going to do, but I'm not about to go back and forth with you because there's no winning. Like there's no winning. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I might have told this story before, but I'll never forget when I had moved, we bought the house. Lorraine and I, we were out. We went to a comedy show. I just got my truck. I had a Range Rover at the time. And I literally left the comedy club, pulled onto the street and got pulled over, right? There wasn't a light. I didn't run the light. I got pulled over immediately. He said, he's like, you were speeding. I'm like, sir, I literally just pulled out, but okay. So he's going through his process. He's like, I just moved, mind you. He was like, is this your address? I was like, sir, I just moved I had the sticker on the back of the license that I wrote in my new address. I said, you can find my new address on the back. And he's like, how long have you lived here? I'm like, I just moved here, sir, whatever. So boom, I'm going through my wallet to get my identification. I mean, I'm to, before I pulled, actually he gave it back. I was putting it back in my wallet. He saw my gun permit. And then his whole demeanor changed. And he's like, do you have a gun on your person? I'm like, no, officer, I do not have a pistol. I have no, no. He said, do you have a weapon? I said, I do not have a weapon. He's like, do you have a weapon in the vehicle? And then I'm like, there's no weapon in the vehicle. Then there's just like this crazy ass line of questioning. And Lo's an attorney. So, and Lo is Puerto Rican, but on the surface, she looks white. Like she's very fair skinned. So she leans forward and is getting ready to bark at him because just the little way he's treating me. Like, and she says something like, he just, and I grabbed her and I pushed her back in the seat. I'm like, I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like she had never experienced that. Right. Because like I said, on the surface, she's fair skinned. So at night, you would, if you're a white man, you may think she's a white woman. You may, right? But I knew that if they got into it and that went left, I was going to jail at best that night.
Yeah, they're gonna make an example out of you.
At best, I was going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want that because I knew he wasn't gonna get me escalated. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing he could have said would have got me to the point where I was gonna be combative or nothing like that. But him fucking with her would have got me there. You know what I'm saying? So I had to calm her down. And then, of course, she's an attorney. So as soon as she went home, he typed up the letters and all of this, sent them out. Like, and they, of course, nollied it and all of that. And they apologized and all of that. But the way I was treated is, here's the part I was talking about in the beginning. I'm so used to that treatment that I now know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm conditioned that when I get pulled over by a cop, when they become an asshole, not if, when they become an asshole, again, this is my thinking. Here's how you handle it. And that treatment that I was receiving was so foreign to her that it prompted her to react. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, like this is what we expect. And this is how you handle it. So that's the part that bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying, so just like to answer the question I asked, so you're saying just because of your awareness on how to handle a situation, you don't feel the need to find a well-lit area to go park at because you're capable of getting through.
Oh no, I'm going, if there's an option, I'm pulling in a well-lit area. My issue of trying to find a well-lit area is, what narrative is that cop that's behind me now creating? You know what I'm saying? So now I don't want to escalate the shit because I'm already walking in my mind with, you know, a couple of strikes against me just in general because I'm Black, right? So I'm not trying to escalate it. Now, if I can get to a well-lit area, yeah, you damn right I'm getting to a well-lit area, but I'm not going to be on the highway and then drive for like 5 miles and pull up. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just take my chances because I don't need him or her. Obviously the police officer that killed Daubte Wright was a woman. I don't need them being more agitated than they already are from seeing me. So I'm pulling over when they put them burps and cherries on.
Yeah, but so why is it that most of us have a fucked up, I mean, we all have a fucked up story in regards to interactions with a police officer. Like, how is, like, I think that's just fucked up all around. Like, the majority of Black men you meet can describe or in detail the shitty situation they had with a police officer.
It's called profiling, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we live in it. We just got to keep it real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We live in it, bro. Like I was going to ask you, like, was that question rhetorical? Like, we live in it. This is the society we live in. So we have to adapt and adjust and be aware, you know?
Let's give a rundown for those who, you know, who have yet to experience it or who may experience it again. Like, what is the best advice we can offer men, Black men, on how to handle situations when they have interactions with police officers?
I thought of it while Bell was talking. Your manhood is not measured within your interactions with police officers. They're not tied. Detach them. I was thinking about that while he was talking. Like, if we could somehow mentally program our brains to remind ourselves that there is nothing about who we are as Black men that comes into question or to play when we have interactions with police officers, maybe that may curb something. You know what I mean? Because we want to, you know, you want to stand on the little square that you have, even when your back is against the wall. But if you can remind yourself, you know, maybe that quick jab that you want to say, or that shit that's unnecessary, just shut the fuck up.
Nipsey said it. He said, as Black men, we have to change how we respond to disrespect. Right?
Very true.
Like, and or I think he might have said adjust how we respond to disrespect. And I think that's what it is in large part. It's like I'm a man, bro. Right? I'm a man, and you're not about to make me feel less than. So that's where that ego comes from. That's where manhood, quite fucking frankly, right? But the advice I would give, and listen, I know sometimes this doesn't mean shit, right? But comply, right? Because you gotta live, bro. Like, that's like, comply as much as you possibly can, and over communicate. Like, and the fucked up thing is, as I'm saying this out loud, that's what Lieutenant Nazario did, bro. Like, this man literally over communicated the whole time. His hands were out the window. He was explaining how he was feeling. He was explaining what was happening, and nothing changed. So that's all you can do, though. All you can do is comply. and just know that you can't win it on the street. So that's why, like, I know my rights. I know all of that shit. Like, but I'm not about, and again, this is just my preference. I'm not about to be fighting you on what the law is and what my rights are. You know, like, now if it's something that will put me in harm's way, then yeah, I'm gonna fight you on that. But if it's something where you want to, you know, ask the third, fourth question, I'm gonna just answer it. Even though I don't have to answer it, I'm gonna answer it just to get me out that situation.
What about like with Mr. Nazario's joint where they asked him to get out the car? He's like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, I'm afraid, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get out the car. Like, how do you respond being asked to get out the car though, cuz?
Yo, I haven't been asked to get out the car in a long time. And I don't know. I don't know if I would have done anything different.
Do you guys keep your seatbelt on? Because that was his issue. He got pulled over, left his seatbelt on. He was afraid to reach for his seatbelt in fear of
Hell yeah, I keep it on. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's where I'm at with it. If they're yelling like that, my hands aren't going outside.
No, I'm saying, you, like, when if you pulled over, you just take it off and just prevent having to risk that.
Nah, I don't take it off because I don't want to say I pulled you over because your seatbelt's off.
Yo,
that happened to me before.
I done got blurred a couple of times and try to hit that slow little slide over the shoulder to buckle my shit anyway.
No, that happened to me before when the cop, I was like, officer, can I ask you why you pulling me over? He was like, he paused and he's like, your seatbelt's not on. I'm like, I just took this shit off. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? But again, same thing. Like, now granted, I was in the wrong. I didn't have a license at the time, but still, he didn't know that when he pulled me over. But yeah, man, like that, I would just, I mean, again, like I said, complying. Like, black man, you do whatever you need to do to get home, right? Whatever, because I can't, like, everything I'm gonna tell you is gonna be in theory, because every situation is different. Because unfortunately, there's no uniform way to police, unfortunately, right? Or maybe there is, and that's what we're experiencing, right? So I guess they can be looked at either way.
So back before, you know, the therapeutic measures in the grow up was happening, I got pulled over. I'm on a 3-lane highway. I'm in the left lane. I see the cop coming behind me in the left lane. So I wait for the car in the middle lane to pass me. I slow down, wait for the car in the middle lane to pass me so I can get over. Car passes me. I get behind them, coasting for 5 seconds. Cop pulls behind me and pulls me over. And the first question, can I ask why I'm being pulled over? He said he pulled me over for tailgating. And I'm just like, bro, like, I saw you coming. I took an opportunity to get over, and like, you didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happened just like that. Pull me over.
You know, another thing I don't do when I get pulled over is talk. I wouldn't even said that. Like,
why I got pulled? Why'd you pull me over?
Nope. That's just me though, right? That's just me. No. I'm not even gonna ask him because I know it's bullshit. I got pulled over in Rhode Island, bro. Same exact scenario that you just mentioned. When the cop finally rode up, and that's a whole nother story. I was with my mom, and she was kind of doing the same thing Lo was doing when I got pulled over that time. I just had to calm her down, like, look, no, this is just what happens. I literally told my mom while we're in the car, step by step, what was about to happen. And everything I said happened. That's how much I was getting pulled over back then. Long story short, when it was all done, he did his due diligence, right? Brought a dog, a whole nine, all that shit. He was like, well, I'm giving you a ticket for going 5 miles over the speed limit. That's literally what the ticket was for. 5 miles over the speed limit. And the exact scenario how you got pulled over is exactly how I got pulled over. He gave me a ticket for going 5 miles over the speed limit. And this is how I know they're doing some bullshit. So peep this, right? He was so convinced that I was somebody else. He kept asking me all these questions about, and again, I answered them because I wanted to get home. You ever been to Florida? Yep, I've been to Florida. Like, all kinds of weird shit.
I gotta do what you pulling me over. See, that's
again, I didn't go there, right? I didn't go there because I already could see what type of time he was on. Long story short, he was so adamant about getting the person he was looking for. This fucker wrote the ticket out to whoever that person was.
God damn, are you for real?
Dead serious. I got home because I was in Rhode Island. I got home. I looked at the ticket, opened it up. It had my last name, but wrong address, wrong everything. Like
He
it
wrote
was.
down somebody else's information?
He wrote down somebody's information, not mine.
Damn.
That's how bad he wanted me to be whoever that person was. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and then she was my girlfriend at the time. Lo was like, "You gonna pay it?" I'm like, "Fuck no, I ain't paying this. This ain't made out to me. Like,
right.
This ain't my ticket to pay."
Like that, bro.
I'm like, I might have just committed a crime opening up somebody else's mail. Shit.
Word.
You know?
Word.
And he's somewhere else mentally. You get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't need to be a police officer. Like you get what I'm saying? That's what I mean by like when I hear like defund the police, like my whole thing is this is about character. All this is about character. People with poor character are police officers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not normal. You don't pull over one black man and have another in mind so bad that you have one black man's ID and write down a whole another person's name and how do you know their address? Like, how do you do that? And you can't make stories like this up. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
Apparently that person had a warrant and he kept asking me crazy questions. And the crazy thing, there was so much stuff going on in my life at the time. Like I was going to see my sister's father who was in the feds. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to get like this. I got too much stuff going on. So that's why I was like, I'm just going to comply. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. That's why I say, man, so when I get pulled over, I don't say nothing. He asked me a question, I'm answering it, but I'm not volunteering no information, nothing. One time that's not my last story. One time I got pulled over. He came to the car license registration. I gave it to him. Came back with a ticket. He said, "Have a nice day." That was the conversation. But I knew I kind of ran a yellow light. So I knew what I did. So I didn't fight him. I just didn't say nothing. That was it. But anyway.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm sitting here and sharing one story, but I like this shit makes me angry, fam. Like I'm getting hot. And it's unfortunate that we have to go through this shit, man.
And on top of that, man, my man X died this past week.
That's some
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh, speaking of that, I saw like people like being mad at other people for celebrating X. Like, yo, you didn't praise him when he was here. Why are you doing it now? Like, yo, like how fucking bitter are you, bro? Like,
shut up, bro.
Yeah, like shut up. Like, That was crazy. I'm like, it's just bugged out. But one thing I put on my post, I put a post up and it's like, yo, like the number of people on my timeline that had pictures with DMX is a testament to how real that dude was. Like it was
like actual pictures.
Actually, like pictures with them and DMX. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a lot of people. And I'm like, yo, that's fucking pretty cool though, too. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a real dude. Like stop and take pictures with whomever. Like it was a lot of people, man. Like that's pretty cool, man.
And the crazy thing is, man, I would imagine some of those pictures were during the time where this dude had 2 albums in the same year that were multi-platinum.
Right.
Like that didn't happen back then. Like that was not a real thing.
I heard he had 5 in a row. 5 #1 albums in a row.
Yeah.
His run was crazy. I watched a little interview with Russell Simmons the other day. He was like, DMX saved Def Jam.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
Like, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? I also realized that, not that I didn't know, but like I forgot how extensive his catalog was for him.
Oh yeah.
Big man had a little a DMX run the other day, 5 o'clock joint, and I'm like, yo, it was all bangers. I'm like, yo,
you gotta think, man, like even kids that are not even old enough to really know who DMX is, listens to DMX to get hype.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like one of the young kids in the office came up to me and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, and he could have been older than 22, 23. He's like, yeah, man, I just, you gotta think 22, 23, that means he was 2 or 3 when DMX first album dropped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yeah, man, I still listen to DMX to get hype. You know what I'm saying? It's like that dude he's an icon when it comes to that. You know what I mean? And but that's the thing. It's like that's what I'm talking about, man. We just can't get one thing at a time and like let us get through that. Nah, we got to get bang, 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 bang. Now y'all just get all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
That's just crazy, man. Like I just
What is crazy though is just how us as black men or just black people or just society in general are impacted by those that we knew little about or didn't have personal relationship. Like that DMX song was like, damn, that's foul. Like it.
nah, you know why though, bro? You know why? It's because they're it's a hope for us, right? It's like seeing ourselves as more than what we can see ourselves at that time.
Mhm.
Like when you grow up, like and you can relate to it. You can relate to X's stories, right? Growing up in poverty, growing like there's so many people it's more people we can relate to than not, right? So when you do that, you attach yourself to that. You know what I mean? And you grow with that. And that provides inspiration, right? At least that you know that it's possible where you may not have. That's why, man. That's like they're more than music. Those like I guess that's why I call them an icon, man. He's more than music.
Without a
You
doubt.
know what I'm saying?
Anyone who disagrees with that is a fucking hater.
Yeah, it's just like I don't care how you want to measure them. Check the box, right? Whatever it is, whatever tools you use to measure them, check the box. And that's the thing. And it's like you gotta you said it a long time ago on a podcast. Like you ever be sad and listen to sad music to make you cry more?
Right.
Like
Right.
X got some of them joints too. A lot of them. You know, in addition to make you run through a wedge, you know, a kickoff. You know what I'm saying? So
Brilliant storyteller too, man. Like Slippin' is still one of the, you know what I mean? I listened
yeah.
to that before it happened, like just recently, like just reminiscing one time, going back for nostalgia. Like that song has always been like special to me, I guess. I don't know, but it was just, you know.
Yeah. And the fact that the dude was
to DMX, man.
and he was an actor and all of that. Yeah, definitely rest in peace to the
And
dog.
a poet too. You know, I don't know if y'all remember he was on Deaf Poetry Jam too. My mom's actually sent me a clip of that the other day.
Preacher.
Yeah, poems on his first album.
Yeah, right.
What'd you say?
Yeah,
Poems on his first album.
Yeah. I think they were on the back too. I feel like they were back when people.
Yeah, that was back in the day when we used to have all the lyrics in the cover.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, you can't even really go buy hand joints no more. Anyways, final thoughts, fellas. Let's wrap this joint up and keep it pushing. So we got some good news for y'all, man. And bad news at the same time. Bad news is we gonna let this be the end of season 2. So we can gear up for season 3, give Prentice some time to get acclimated with the new baby, and jump back into season 3. But you guys feel free to share the good news about season 3. One of y'all want to take that one?
I ain't telling y'all shit.
Not a motherfucking thing.
Y'all just tune in. How about that?
So with that being said, we got some bigger and better things coming for season 3. We found some sponsorship. We found some
Didn't I just say I wasn't telling them nothing?
that don't mean I can't.
Here we go.
Touche.
That's gonna get the people ready to see season 3 or tune in for season 3. So we got a little bit of sponsorship. We teamed with a production company to help give us a different feel and look. So it should look and feel a little bit different next time around. Not much different. Conversation still be the same, but you know it'll look a little different. And you know, Beyonce, let me upgrade you type shit. You mean? Yeah, me.
Sure.
Anything else, fellas? Final thought.
I took my first train in Boston today.
Okay. Yeah, you know me the check-in normally, updates in Boston, but you get that.
Yeah. I took the train, yo, and I might sell my truck. Like that shit took me like 7 minutes to get to the office.
As compared to what?
It don't matter. It was like the drive is short too, but you still got to drive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's
how far is the train from the crib?
Probably like 2 blocks at the most.
Oh, all right. So yeah.
I don't even think it's 2 blocks. It's just a 4-minute walk.
Right. Skipping a jump, so you get money.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? Final thoughts, P?
I'm good, man. Just just in regards to the police, make sure you keep your peace during this time. I haven't been watching any videos. I'm bringing in new life, so I don't want no Black death in the house. So I've been detached. But make sure you maintain your peace, man. Don't let the media and your phone get you too far out your square, man. Protect your energy and your peace during this time.
Yeah, and definitely, I'll echo that. Just protect your peace, right? Like you're needed, Black man. Protect your peace.
Absolutely.
Find your therapeutic measure too, fella. I told y'all at the beginning of the episode I was tight today. I was tight, but I called my man right before I went to the gym, kind of let a little bit out there. got to the gym, let some more out, and I was able to lead that joint and, you know, bring my peace back. So, you know, do what it find your peace somewhere in terms of in order to protect it, whatever that may be. Yeah, so that's it. See, this is gonna be the end of season 2. I don't know what episode this is, 16, 17 of season 2, whatever.
One of them things.
We'll be back in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. We'll be back and we'll let y'all know we're bigger and better things. So in the meantime, y'all be cool. How y'all be cool. Do us all a favor and hug a black man today and tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We out, y'all.
Peace.